What's good, YouTube? You know who it is. Andre Dorsey. And today I want to talk about the Xbox One Project Scorpio. Now, everybody knows all the specs have been revealed, and if those specs hold true, it makes the Xbox One Scorpio, Project Scorpio, one of the, if not the most powerful console, even more powerful than the PlayStation 4 Pro. Now, what is my take on this? Well, this is my thing. Now, what the Xbox One Scorpio will be able to do is basically it has the capacity to render original Xbox One games in native 4K resolution. Let me be upfront about this. While all of that sounds great on the surface, I would like to say what gamers really want is higher frame rate and more gameplay. We want more to our games. So that's where I think the Xbox One Scorpio will fall short. Now, the reason I say that is because, first of all, Xbox needs to get better and more exclusives if they plan to compete with PlayStation, if they plan to compete with Sony. That's the truth. They had a game called Scalebound, which looked legit, and they stopped production on it. Gears of War and Halo and Forza, they're gonna need more exclusives than that to drive the table. Sony has unleashed Neo. Sony also has MLB The Show, which is awesome this year. Sony also has Horizon Zero Dawn, which I'm pretty certain that game is definitely going to be seeing a sequel. So Microsoft really needs to step their game up as far as console exclusives. Now, I own the Xbox One, and I own the PlayStation 4 Pro. I have the Xbox One S. I mean, 4K resolution, like I said, that's all great and fine. The picture is really with HDR, and a high frame rate is also important. So I guess it's more of a warning for people to be careful, not to jump on board of a console at what the console is capable of. Yeah, do we want more powerful consoles? Of course we do. But what we want at the end of the day as gamers is gameplay. We want deeper games, games that run, we spend 60 something dollars on games only to turn around and have games come out that cost that much that only give you a couple of hours worth of gameplay. We want more than that. Somebody like me who's a big open world fan as well as a sports fan, I want more depth in my sports games. And then that's where the graphics come in. If I'm playing a game too, then graphics come in. If the game, you can have all the great graphics in the world, but if the gameplay's garbage, see what I'm saying? And then too, I am a person that looks at the importance of graphics. I mean, it's 2017. We're on next gen consoles. I shouldn't put in a AAA title and the graphics look like PlayStation 3. Sorry, I shouldn't. Especially when I get into sports titles. Because the more real that those games look, the better. The more real that those games look, the better. So I really feel like we should take note of what's going on. I'm definitely going to be tuned in at E3 to see what games they're going to push out on these consoles, what they're going to look like. Because I'm excited. I'm not going to lie. I am excited to see the potential. After hearing what these specs are capable of, that basically they were able to run the Forza engine on 60 frames per second, maxed out like they would a computer, and it was still only running at 80 something percent. And the console itself wasn't even fully optimized. I mean, that's amazing. But like I said, I don't want to get people's hopes up. I don't want any of y'all to get y'all's hopes up because, I mean, yeah, Microsoft fanatics are saying, oh, it's better than the PlayStation 4 Pro. If you go back and watch one of my older videos about the PlayStation 4 Pro, the video was released before it ever came out. And in that video, I said that Sony has tricks up its sleeves with their consoles. And what happened? Later, what happened last month? Sony released boost mode for the PlayStation 4 Pro. The developers of Horizon Zero Dawn even said, people were saying, oh, let's go to maxing out the PlayStation 4's performance. They said, no, man, we weren't even close to maxing out the performance of the PlayStation 4 Pro, simply because by the time that game was well into development by the time they even got their hands on a prototype for the PlayStation 4 Pro. So they weren't able to fully utilize everything that the PlayStation 4 Pro had to offer. They said that if they had it earlier in the development phase, that things would have been great. They would have been able to do more. And imagine that, because Horizon Zero Dawn is a phenomenal game, graphically and everything. It looks amazing. So I can't imagine how that game would have been had they got their hands on the PlayStation 4 earlier, PlayStation 4 Pro earlier. And so, with all of that being said, I'm definitely still excited to see what they're going to do with the Xbox One Scorpio. Now, my question is this. Is this a true next-gen console, or is it just the PlayStation 4 Pro version of the Xbox One, where I'm still going to have to, it's going to be the same games? That's what my concern is. Are you going to make completely new games for this console that is exclusive to the Xbox One Scorpio, or is this just a beefed up Xbox One? That's my question. Because I thought the Xbox One S would have been the beefed up Xbox One. So that's my take. That's my issue with that. I want to know, and I guess we'll find out at E3. For instance, are there going to be Xbox One Scorpio or whatever they decide to name it games, and then Xbox One? And I think that there will be, and the reason why I feel that way is because they stated, hey, this will still play your Xbox One games and accessories. But then on the same side of that coin, we did hear that um, with the PlayStation 4 Pro, that you'll still be able to play your PlayStation 4 games and use the same controllers, because it's the same thing. But don't count Sony out, man. Don't count Sony out, because I guarantee you they got some tricks up their sleeve. So it'll be extremely interesting to see what they come up with once the Xbox One Scorpio is released. I guarantee you Sony's gonna say, hey, firmware update, guess what? We was hiding some teraflops, or we was hiding some power or some capabilities of this console. Just wait and watch. Till next time, y'all.